Infinite love, beautiful people. Welcome back to a new video. So what do most of us want? Happiness and pleasure. It is pursuit of happiness and pleasure. Why is that happening? And are there positive and negative sides of that? Let us now inquire together and find out. Infinite love. So this is the question and also the reality that almost all human mankind faces every day. We all want to be happy, we all want the pleasure in our life, and we all want to feel good. So is this good or fundamentally wrong? Let us inquire. To inquire, we have to have an open mind and to observe things as they are, to look for the facts. So to find out what happiness is, we have to start observing the whole human mankind and also us as individual, because I've said this in most of my previous videos. You are the entire world and the entire world is you. And I will link video somewhere here so you can deeply explore this. So when you see that the whole human mankind has created you and you represent this whole human mankind, you actually want what this entire human consciousness wants, and that is to feel happy, to feel gratified, to feel pleasure. And there is nothing wrong with that, but the problem is we start to only want happiness. And when we want the happiness and pleasure, there will be 100% guarantee problems, and with the problems comes suffering. So why is that? So let us now see what the happiness is and why is it causing suffering in our life. To find out what happiness is, you have to remember something that you have observed completely, like a beautiful mountain or a beautiful woman, or you eat your favorite cake. Let's take that for example. You are eating your favorite cake. It's very tasty. While you are eating it, you are already thinking, this is so beautiful. I wish I had more cake to eat. And as you are thinking, you haven't even finished the cake, you are already starting to fear whether there is enough cake and will you feel enough pleasure from this cake. So pleasure is activation of all our senses inside that are specifically tied to one thing. Let's say, for example, your taste while you are eating this cake. As soon as the pleasure is gone, because pleasure allows you for even a slight moment to escape from yourself, from your own emptiness, and that happens because we do not know ourselves. We didn't observe ourselves and we are very scared of that we don't know, and we don't know emptiness inside of ourselves. And this emptiness is making us scary, and we want to do all kind of things all the time just to escape from this. So when you feel this pleasure as you are eating this cake and the pleasure is done, you have eaten the cake. Let's say, for example, you have had enough cake and you are really feeling full and satisfied. But what happens next? Let us slow down everything. So you have eaten the cake and now you are staying here and the thought arises in you. This thought says, oh, how good cake this was. I'm feeling so happy. So you are feeling so happy because you felt pleasure and escape from yourself just for a brief moment. The next thought that arises is wish, and that is, I want to have this again. We should do this more often. So that is, the thought creates wish, and wish creates suffering, because in most of the cases you will not feel good now after some time, because you do not have that thing that you want. You are actually blocking yourself to be happy and joyful until you have this what you want. So the thought, as always, is the source of all problems and all suffering in our lives, because the thought is always past. When you experience something, when you store this memory, it is always the past. The more you have this past inside you, the more you can say you are experienced. And as the byproduct of that, experiencer is created. The one who is experiencing all of these things, the one who has knowledge, the one who has seen all of this and now doesn't even know what to do because it has seen everything. So the mind quickly becomes burdened with the past, with the experiences, and nothing seems fresh and new, because in the mind everything is dead. You can picture this very easily like digging up the graveyard. Your mind is graveyard of the pleasures and experiences. So when you see something and your mind says, I know that, I've drove that road 100 times, I ate that cake 1,000 times, what is happening? The mind has gone into a graveyard, dig a grave, and looked inside and says, this cake is not good, I have eaten 1,000 times, I need something new. So every time when you look back into a past and search for an experience, you're actually digging the past, the dead, and you are never present here, alive. So wishing for the happiness, you always go to past to find something that you know, and in this know you have seen the happiness. So you want the same thing to have happiness, but you cannot experience the happiness in that because it's actually dead. It's same as the past. It is already known here. So what do human beings do? They try to search something completely new. And while they are searching, they are still feeling bad, because you have to find every time something new that you haven't tried in this world. So happiness is always tied to a suffering. Suffering, comparison, past, all of that is tied together. So how to exit this circle of pain, struggle and suffering? First of all, as always said millions of times in our videos, develop the skill of observation. If you want to know more of that, search my videos and see the skill of observation. I will link the video here. So when you know and when you develop the skill of observation, you start to let go of the past. You start to be right here, right now. Observe what is here, because we do not live in past or in future. We always psychologically experience now. Tomorrow will be now. Yesterday will never come again, because it's always now. So when you let go everything and observe completely, you come close to this emptiness inside you. You observe this fully emptiness and you become one with it. When you become one with the emptiness inside you, then you can let go everything and just be. Just being is creating joy inside you. It is melting all the happiness, all the suffering. And that allows you to have a fresh, new mind. So if you have eaten this cake 100,000 times in your life, if you observe it as the first time in your life, if you give total attention to it, to all of your senses at once, and you see this cake like something truly seen the first time in your life, and you can do it, just do not dig the graveyard, just observe, and you will see, you will eat it like the first time in your life. Same thing with all your relationships. Observe your wife, your man, your children, your pets as the first time you have seen them in your life, and see the difference in your life. You will see completely different, because it will be like the first time you have met this woman or a man. So please, to do this, you have to give total attention and be aware. If you forgot to do this, do not think, I have done this wrong, I will do this again. Just start again. Do not think, there is no thinking, just give attention again. And there it is. So test this for yourself. See, is this true? Does this make a sense? Do not just blindly accept or disagree with me. Instead, test it for yourselves, because this doesn't mean a thing if you don't do this for yourself. So I wish you a lot of fun by observing and exploring yourself and relationship in your lives. Thank you for inquiring with me, and until next video, infinite love.